Do you remember the first day of your family trip or the morning of your birthday? Does your alarm do the waking up or is your excitement enough for that? But that is not what happens every day, right? There is this dreadful thing called Monday hiding and peeking through your leafy curtains, ready to scare you back to your bed the moment you open your eyes. So in today's video, I will give you 6 tricks to wake up every morning perked up, even when you don't have the motivation. So let's get going. Hey everyone, this is Chetna and you're watching ChetChat. Let's begin with our 6 amazing tricks to wake you up in the morning with no motivation. Trick number 1 is building a pulley. American author and philanthropist Robbins coined 2 types of motivation: push motivation and pull motivation. Push motivation requires willpower, and willpower never lasts. You kind of chant a certain motivational mantra every morning to wake up, and it ultimately fades out by the 3rd day. But pull motivation happens when the mere thought of an activity wakes you up with excitement like a pulley. But the thing is, how do we find exciting things to do every day when all we have are a mundane set of tasks? Now, here's the catch. Have you ever seen one person getting very excited about taking their pet for a walk and the other person finding it a dull, monotonous activity? Our sense of happiness and excitement level is a play of 4 hormones: dopamine, endorphins, oxytocin, and serotonin. It's more about the intensity at which we are engaged in our activity than the nature of the activity itself. So you may have any activity to do first thing in the morning. It could be gardening, bike riding, a long walk with your pet, cooking, or breakfast with a friend. It doesn't matter what your morning activity is. All you have to do is hype it up to a level where it excites you and you want to do it with complete engagement. Talk to yourself about how you're looking forward to taking in fresh oxygen from your plants. Now comment below and tell me which one is your favorite activity for the morning that helps you wake up feeling supercharged. Schedule any such activity first thing in the morning, and this could be the pulley that pulls you out of bed. And before we get to trick number 2, I want to give a shout out to EduSing Educational for leaving this super awesome message under my last video, which got so many likes from you. And if you want a shout out in my next video, then you know exactly what to do. Leave me a super cute message below this one with a hashtag ChetChatters. Now, trick number 2 is planting the right seeds. By seeds, I mean seeds of thoughts. Now, our brain doesn't stop thinking even while we sleep. The only difference is that we are unaware of our thoughts while sleeping. But the moment we wake up, the thoughts start to pile up again. There are 2 kinds of thoughts that enter our minds. The first thing in the morning, you could either have continuation thoughts or programmed thoughts. Continuation thoughts are those that continue from the previous day or night. Example, you were working on an essay before you went to bed and you continue thinking about it as soon as you wake up. Programmed thoughts are those that we have habituated ourselves to trigger automatically at a certain time or situation. Like when we are in a gym or in a temple, even the moment we wake up, like get a coffee or chant a mantra or get up and dance. Now, we will plant the right seeds of thought for both kinds. For programmed thoughts, I fill myself with gratitude every now and then. Example, when you're standing on your balcony, say, "Wow, such a fresh and energizing morning air." Or looking at the sunlight with the thought, "It's so rejuvenating, reminds me of the mountains." The key is to recall the morning that you felt absolutely energetic, like a trip in the mountains or the beach, and implement it every single morning. Now comment below and tell me how you create positive programmed thoughts for yourself. Now talking about continuation thoughts. We will create the right thoughts before we sleep, like watching or reading something funny, or listening to your favorite song before sleeping, or maybe even meditating for a few minutes. The key is to avoid any mind-draining activities like binge watching or thinking negative thoughts, because the same mood will continue even after waking up. So plant the right seed of thoughts and you will reap the best fruits of mood in the morning. Trick number 3, starting with momentum activities. Have you heard of the iconic name Dashrath Manjhi, also known as the Mountain Man? The first thing in the morning he did was to take a chisel and a hammer and start breaking a mountain. Now, you might not break a mountain literally, but our definition of mountainous work could be anything like working on a week-long pending laborious assignment, or maybe studying the toughest chapter, or too many activities to do in the day. The mere thought of it could completely ruin your motivation and you end up thinking, it's too much for this little piece of life. I will do it later. Let's go back to sleep right now. Well, how long will you procrastinate? So to cope with that, we will plan our day with momentum activities. Momentum activities are those tasks that do not require much mental effort, and they are easy to do tasks, like maybe a few sets of exercise, or the first page of a pending assignment, or just about reading 2 pages of your textbook. And these easy to do tasks will motivate you to get up early and check them out quickly from your to-do list. Tell me, what are your easy momentum tasks? And if you also want to know a good routine for the morning which you can follow once you've woken up, then I will drop a link below. Try to keep this to-do list within 5 activities so that you don't feel overburdened before even getting to it. Trick number 4, working for intrinsic reward. Our body has a reward mechanism for achieving its desired goals. Something like the incentives we get for doing our job at office, or maybe a little star we get in our report card at school. Now, this reward in our body is in the form of feel-good hormones called dopamine and endorphins. And God, we need that so much. The moment we open our eyes to do our activities, don't we? Now, we could trigger these hormones in 2 ways, either by extrinsic achievements or by intrinsic achievements. Let me explain. Extrinsic achievements are external to us, like praise from a teacher, likes on Instagram, gifts from parents, or appraisal on the job, maybe even marks in an exam. Intrinsic achievements are something we achieve internally, like achieving our own fitness goals, controlling our anger, maybe breaking out of fear, or learning something new. Now, I want to know how you get your intrinsic motivation. So leave me a comment below and tell me the things that you do that make you feel proud of yourself. Now, if you get used to only getting external rewards, extrinsic achievements, then the moment we don't get these, we start feeling grumpy or irritated and even can't get up from bed. And to compensate that, the moment we get up, we grab our phone and we start scrolling down Instagram for some likes or some good news to perk us up. And before you know it, hours just pass by. Most extrinsic achievements are not in our control, so they are not a reliable partner. The solution is to feel good internally. If you start thinking that maybe even getting up at your predetermined time is an achievement because it is the first step of self-discipline, then you will automatically start feeling good and motivated. Trick number 5, wearing your own clothes. Now, what if I ask you to wear your 5-year-old cousin's clothes? Sounds crazy, right? You would never fit in. But today, you read early in the morning, you get up and you read the morning routine of a top billionaire, an author, or a world leader, and you start imposing it on yourself. And when it doesn't fit into your life, you feel drained out, lazy, and demotivated. And so the best option is to execute a morning routine that best suits you. You could pick up and try a few elements from your role models, but never try to fit into someone else's schedules. Once, Coco Chanel, one of the most popular French fashion designers, said, "In order to be irreplaceable, one must always be different." So try to test your own morning rituals, and the moment you open your eyes, you will not feel imposed or forced to follow something that you are not. And meantime, press the subscribe button on the channel for every new video every Friday, and share this with your friends. And I hope this really helped you to wake up every single morning with no motivation. And happy learning!